Should I stay or should I go now? Ah, if I go, it will be double. Excuse me while I clear my throat. I really want to stretch my back, but I know the microphone might jump off because my skin is so tight. Tight. Because I'm a live wire. I'm a live wire. Might be too much. Okay, so the whole idea is that I was stepping outside of the studio just a few minutes ago, and there were people out there, and they were playing music in the driveway, which is cool. What makes it even cooler is that they had the music blaring out of the car. It was The Clash. Should I stay or should I go now? If I stay, it will be trouble. If I go, it will be double. And I say, that's a very, very intelligent song. Not only that, but it's smart. And I don't talk about this often. It's not my way. It's just a way that worked. And I don't see a future following this path. Excuse me while I clear my throat. I'm down to about a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. It's just by mistake. It's not that I'm trying to quit. It's just that, what are you doing today? I don't know. I've got 2 packs of cigarettes I can go through, and if I find myself doing something else like I did earlier, I made a bunch of little quick clip excerpts. If you look down into my playlists, you'll find them, and you'll see something that's like there, and then it has on the short, they're mostly shorts, it'll have a related video. You go to that, it's the one that I did before that, and then if you go to the one that's in that one that I did before that, it'll have a related video, and eventually you'll get to the original video. Some of them connect very well. I'm impressed with the way things work. You thought I was going to say I'm impressed with my acumen, but I'm not doing anything like that at all. I'm just having a good time with you and me. There's nobody here but us. We might as well enjoy this time together rather than try and fucking run everyone down where you have to fucking start looking over your shoulder because the guy that was your friend last week, you fucked him. He's coming for you. Watch and see what happens. If I go, it will be double. So come on. This is couples therapy right here. There was once a person I was with that I didn't. You can't say I didn't care about. I was not concerned about. I was concerned about her, but I didn't care about her. if you have a concern for someone, then you must have some sense of caring. It doesn't necessarily have to be emotional. And so I was with this person once, and she said, I need you down here. And so I moved. Everything was falling apart back then. Anyway, I wasn't leaving anything behind. It sounds dark and it sounds empty and it sounds cold, but at some point when you're looking at the future in your life, you have to accept there are things that are not important anymore. It's survival. It's not even a fear of failure. It's just plain survival. You follow the path, you follow the thread, you stand on the hoverboard of time and you take it wherever you're going because it's a maglev. Even though it may be a hoverboard, you think, oh, I've got control of this thing. No, it's magnetic levitation. It's got a direction. It's going to take people where they're going. It's going to take you where you need to be. And you're going to enjoy that at like 200 miles an hour. It's like being in a Stephen King novel. Waste. Funny, I went right to look for that book where I knew it would be, and it wasn't there. It's The Wastelands. You're on Blaine. You are flying into the desert and over the skies. There's no sense of the good old things that made you realize you're still on the ground. You're still grounded. You're still here. You're getting on that maglev hoverboard on the timeline. You're not going to feel a thing. It's up to you to decide what reality is. And at the end of 5 years, she comes up and says, you need to come up with a plan. And I'm like, I knew it immediately. I've been expecting this. I didn't implicitly recognize it. It was just like, you need to come up with a plan. I knew it, but I couldn't believe it was. I need to come up with a plan. Yeah, you need to come. And then I understood it. I needed to get out. And I said, yeah, that's the way I figured it would happen. And she said, what do you mean you expected it to happen that way? And I said, well, I figured I'd show up here for about 5 years until you got you and your kids and your life in control, and then you would ask me to leave. In the process, I even spent 3 years with a shovel and a wheelbarrow, and shaking out clumps of grass and weeds. I took out a burr palace in the side yard. It was a grove of burrs, and I even suffered horrendous fucking poison ivy poisoning because I thought, okay, I pulled these fucking things out of the ground and I could carry them by the roots by my side. I figured as long as I didn't touch the leaves, I'd be okay. And my skin here, it turned to leather and it started cracking and it was spreading. And I got some stuff from Walgreens. Thank you for shopping at Walgreens. Be well. And thank you for shopping at Walgreens. I got some stuff and I sprayed it on there. It was drying stuff. I wasn't supposed to use that at the time, but I'm like, this shit. I was spraying it. It turned to leather. It was cracking. It was bleeding. And then I put lotion on it. I said, I don't care what they say about keeping it moist. You got to put, because I was wearing leather. I mean, I had pork rinds coming off of my side. You could have eaten it and wanted to take a flight over a mountain as a soccer team from the Andes or Argentina or wherever the fucking people eat each other. You'd say, I'll sign up for that. I spent 3 years cutting out one swath of a third of our yard just so the children had a place they could play. I'm not going to make it all mud. I did it over 3 years, picking up and shaking out weeds and putting back good blades of grass, good chunks of it. And just, I never even planted grass. I just got rid of the weeds over 3 years. And it was the last year that I was there that she said, you need to come up with a plan. What do you mean you expected it? Well, I figured you'd have me here for about 5 years to where you could get your life and your children in order and everything would be stable, and then you'd ask me to leave. And she says, what? You really thought that? And I looked at her and I said, seems to be the way it worked out. She didn't have anything to say about that because none of that was a falsehood. None of that was made up. I go places where people need me. Right now, I am going to stay here forever. Not because somebody needs me, but because I need them. They have answered and paid for the things I've given to others. What do you mean you're only going 3 doors down? Well, you said I had to leave, but you didn't tell me where I could go. Let's fucking see how this goes. By the way, it's a very good relationship right now. This is an old story of a person you wouldn't know. What do you mean? You expected this? I took care of you. I took nothing for myself. Wow. I understand now why it is so many of you can understand me. It's because I do not fit in with your idea of what it is to be that poor guy. Should I stay or should I go now? Part 2. If I go, it will be double. Yeah. So I went out in the yard and I heard that song playing out of the fucking car in the neighbor's yard. If I go, it will be double. And it made me think about how I ended up in one particular relationship where I was in Gaylord doing nothing. And she showed up and she said, I need you down here. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm not doing anything. I didn't even act like I loved anybody. You know, I've never done that. I've never done it. Never acted like it. If I love you, I don't have to fake it. And so I moved down there, and next thing I know, there's the whole, oh, you got to come up with a plan thing. And I'm like, how, this is the part. She says, I said, oh, that's the way I figured it'd work out. And what do you mean you expect that to happen? I'm like, well, figured I'd get your life in order and your kids would be in good shape. They had a father. I didn't need to be one. I was just a friend. That's the way I looked at it. If they needed to talk, good kids with a good mentor. Outside of having a good mentor, every kid is an asshole. They're born to be. During that 3 years, I tore up a third of the ground on the side of the house over there where the Berg orchard was, everything like that. It's like, birds, get them out of here. Fucking, oh no, poison ivy. I am not afraid of it. I've had it before. I figure I got some innocuous state that is not susceptible to poison ivy. I figured I was wrong. Pick it up, tear it out. I'm cleaning up this whole fucking yard. And carry the roots, the leaves far away from you. They still get all over you, spray it all over you, it cracks, it fucking wants to bleed, and you say, fuck it. You're not supposed to keep it fucking liquefied, but you gotta put some goddamn lotion on it at some point. So I went through all this in over 3 years, and the grass, it was done. It was beautiful. Beautiful fucking side yard that used to be something that on the first look at it I thought was a hobo jungle. I'm like, holy fuck, no, that's ours. Oh fuck. Can't have hobos living in the yard. They'll be knocking on the door for breakfast that I myself don't eat. You got to get out of here. This is the point. If I'd have cared and left when I quit caring, it would have been 2 to 3 years earlier. But I know better. I let it be her idea. She said, "You gotta come up with a plan." And I say, "Oh, 3 doors down? What do you mean you're only moving 3 doors down?" There was a rent sign down there. I moved my fucking 8 lives of existence down the street on my arms for the most part. The neighbors had never seen me before. They're like, "Who's this guy carrying shit down there?" And look, there's one. I was able to finish a project that I'd been waiting for years to do. And it was part of the shit that I carried down there. And, yeah, here's a secret: man, woman, beast, or God, if you're in a relationship with somebody who you do not trust the sanity of, when it comes time, you just wait, and the next time will come where they can say, "Oh, you got to come up with a plan." Let it be their idea. If it's their idea, you're free and clear. That's a Judas life story, because it's the easiest way to get out of something is just to let it happen. How much patience do you have? Well, that changes things. I'm patience bordering on laziness. I can wait as long as it takes. I know time, time, time is on my side. Yes, it is. If I go, it will be double. I'm not going anywhere now. You're gonna have to not just ask, you're gonna have to just give it a little push.